Hey guys, this is the Unveil podcast with DJ Wavy.
Yo, this is DJ Wavy. Welcome back, guys, to yet another episode of the Unveil podcast, right here on YouTube. Today's a very special day. As you can see, I was just in a graduation ceremony. As a matter of fact, they was about to call my name, but, Unveil comes first. That's how it goes. So let's get into character. You guys already know what comes on this podcast. We're going to talk about what's going on in the Caribbean. We got some interesting facts coming your way. We got the question box where you ask DJ Wavy whatever you want. And today, we have two very special guests. Number one, we got Tim's brush in the studio. Hold on, let me get his... Hold on, wait. Tim's brush graduated with a degree in dripology. Master of Science in Drip. And also we got my special amiga. My good friend all the way from Cuba. Amelia Garcia. All right. Let's get right into what we got for you guys today. So what is going on in the Caribbean? Number one on the list. Bahamas and U.S. signed search and rescue agreement. This is some interesting stuff. It says here, the Bahamas signed an agreement with the United States for search and rescue missions, saying that it will give formal recognition to what has been going on in the past. Tourism and Aviation Minister Dionisio de Aguilar said, while the United States of America Coast Guard frequently assists the Bahamas with search and rescue missions for downed or missing aircrafts, there is no formal arrangement that governs such assistance. He added that the agreement will allow Nassau to provide permission to the Rescue Coordination Center, Rescue Subcenter, and Search and Rescue Facilities of the United States to coordinate and conduct search and rescue operations in its territorial waters, as well as to enter, overfly and land as appropriate in the Bahamian territory in the conduct of search and rescue operations. This is the second agreement signed by the two countries this year. In January, the two countries signed an air service agreement. So here we see the Bahamas and the States once again, working together to get things done. I think this is a very good initiative. We're going to find a lot of people. I think they're going to find a lot of people in the waters because, well, I don't know if you know, it's no secret that, the Bahamas is one of the places where a lot of illegal immigrants go to. And they just, get a boat and they traverse through the aquatic mediums surrounding the Bahamas. So hopefully that's one of the things they can get under control with this agreement, as well as everything else they have planned. Moving right along, Caribbean urged to be cautious regarding corruption amid the COVID-19 pandemic. President of the Barbados-based Caribbean Development Bank, CDB, Dr. Warren Smith, says the current COVID-19 pandemic has put into focus the thorny and constantly evolving nature of corruption and how it can reserve development gains in the region. Antonio Guterres, Secretary General of the United Nations, reminded us that corruption thrives in times of crisis. We must therefore maintain our vigilance as COVID-19 responses open new avenues for exploiting weak oversight systems, Smith said at the inaugural two-day Caribbean Conference on Corruption, Compliance, and Cybercrime hosted by the CDB and the World Bank. And this is something that we are all too familiar with here in the Caribbean. The scammer thing said already. And I've heard quite a lot of stories since COVID-19 about thousands of dollars going missing from your bank account. And I mean, it's crazy. You guys should definitely be on the lookout for that. When you go into a store, if you don't have to swipe, don't swipe, man. Don't pull your card out. These people dangerous. And watch the ATMs you go to, because some of them real fake. Number 3 on the list, Prime Minister of Belize returns to work after contracting COVID-19. Prime Minister of Belize, John Briceño, says he has made a full recovery from the coronavirus, even as other members of the ruling People's United Party were reported to have contracted the virus. Briceño says that his last PCR test results were positive, but doctors have declared him clinically recovered. You guys don't. I think it's very interesting how fast these government officials recover from COVID-19. Something's going on, man. Something's going on that we don't know about. I mean, some of these guys get better in like 4 or 5 days, bro. We just talked about this a couple weeks ago. That's crazy. You should definitely check that out. I wonder what's going on. I wonder if we're going to get that same vaccine that they get. What do you guys think? What y'all think in the studio? We going to get that vaccine? T-Boss, you getting the vaccine? T-Boss ain't getting the vaccine. Haiti's 2021 Carnival will be held in Port-de-Paix. Whoa! Haitian President Jovenel Moise told Haitians last Sunday that the National Carnival 2021 will be held in Port-de-Paix in the northwest region of Haiti on the Boulevard des Trois Rivières. The announcement was made while Moise was participated in a festival on the occasion of the patronal feast of the Immaculate Conception in the city of Port-de-Paix, which is celebrated on December 8th. The information has also been confirmed by Haiti's Ministry of Culture. The 2021 Carnival is scheduled to be held on Sunday, the 14th of February, Monday the 15th, and Tuesday the 16th. This is some pretty good news for the Haitian population. I know the rest of the Caribbean is very jealous right now. You guys get to keep your carnival while the rest of us was on lockdown. Maybe it's gonna bring a lot of money into the country. What y'all think? I think that's pretty decent. I do hope though that by the time February 14 and 15 and 16 comes around, that the coronavirus is under control over there so they could have a good time. You know, virus free. We don't want it to spread anymore. We already know how Haiti's set up. Brianna Williams opens next Wednesday with 300 to 150 double in Freeport, the Grand Bahama. It says here Brianna Williams intends to open her 2020 to 2021 track season next weekend in Freeport, Grand Bahama, where she intends to compete in the 150 meters and the 300-meter race. The 18-year-old star made the announcement on social media yesterday. Training has been going well. I'm going to do something I have never done before, compete in December. I am opening my 2020 to 2021 season next weekend in the Bahamas with a 300-meter race and a 150-meter race on the 18th and the 19th of December. Johan Blake and his teammates from the Titans International Track Club will also be competing at the meet dubbed the Christmas Classic All-Distance Meet, and which is hosted by the Nemore Athletic Club. So that's it for what's going on in the Caribbean. Brianna Williams said to do something she's never done before. You know, out here in the Caribbean, we really appreciate and love track and field. So you guys look out for that, all right? Especially the Jamaican fans. Johan Blake is going to be there. We really want to see him back in action, especially after so many injuries. So you guys look out for that. All right. Coming up next, we got the interesting facts section. It says here, did you know Kaichiro Falls is the world's largest single drop waterfall by the volume of water flowing over it? This is located on the Portaro River in the Kaichiro National Park, and it sits in a section of the Amazon rainforest included in the Potaro Siparuni region of Guyana. Potaro Siparuni region. I never been there. I am from Guyana. I never got the chance to go to the Kaichiro Falls, but it's one of the things that, we really love and appreciate about our country. Number one on the list, man, largest single drop waterfall. You guys should definitely check that out. It's not going to be too expensive to take a trip. So if you're interested, check it out. Just go online, type in Kaichiro Falls National Park, and you guys going to get the prices and everything else that you need. Let's see what you guys asked DJ Wavy this week on the Unveil podcast. Question number 1. Rice and peas. Hold on, we do these already, bro. We don't got no questions from y'all? Well, the Unveil team was very busy this week, so maybe that's why we didn't get to your questions. But if you guys forgot to send questions out, make sure you send them for next week. We'll definitely make an effort to get them. We already answered these questions. Rice and peas or peas and rice. You already know what I choose. So we're going to skip that. Move right into our feature for today. Right? So our feature for today, Miss Amelia Garcia, one of my amigas, is a multifaceted media practitioner who hails from the island of Cuba. Following her theater training from the National Art School in Cuba, she studied mass communication with an emphasis in television at the Northern Caribbean University here in Jamaica. Amelia was voted the best actress of the 2019 Lignum Vitae Film Festival. Did y'all hear that? I hope y'all hear all this Spanish going on right now. Amelia really excited for her. Amelia, lock off your phone. What's going on, man? Amelia was voted the best actress at the 2019 Lignum Vitae Film Festival and best actress and best poetry performance in one staging of Cuba's theater panorama. So without further ado, let's get things set up so Amelia can join us. T-Boss, give me a quick transition. Thanks to Pantherz Apparel for that ad. Check it out. You guys should definitely get one of these lit shirts. They're pretty lit, man. And even in the quarantine, prices are lit as well. So today in studio, we have another in-studio interview with the one and only Amelia Garcia, my good amiga. Amelia, welcome to the show today.
Thank you, Gio. Thank you.
All right, so first of all, Amelia is Cuban. Now, I don't know how dangerous it is to have you on this show,
Maybe.
I hope that after this we're able to continue.
Okay.
I know that a lot of Spanish people have some really long names. So give me a full name for record's sake.
Uh, Amelia Claudia Garcia.
Hold on, wait. That's too rapido, man. That's too rapido. Slow down. Despacito, please.
Amelia. Okay. Amelia Claudia Garcia Jorge.
So Jorge is like what?
It's like Garcia is my mom. It's my dad's first last name, and then my Jorge is my mom's first last name. So then you put the two together, and that's how you come up with your last name. And then when, for example, if I have a son or a daughter,
Or
I
a
will
husband.
give only of course. But we don't change last names. Like that's just like English people.
Oh,
So I don't know. Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
You're surrounded by English people. Don't get bribed. Don't get bribed.
Yeah.
All right, so well, I mean that's pretty interesting stuff. The first time I met Amelia told me that in Cuba they don't get names, they get numbers, and she was like number 1,200 and something, and I actually went on believing it.
He was like, hey, you don't have a name? I'm like, no, like in my country we just have numbers.
Yo, I mean it's Cuba people. I couldn't do anything but believe it. But super excited to have you in studio with us today. I was planning to actually practice some of my Spanish since I'm a graduate now.
Okay.
So let me go ahead and say, es un placer verte. Huh?
Muchas gracias, igualmente.
Hold on, let me get the translator for that. What does that mean? Okay, it means what?
It means thank you, the same.
Okay.
You know,
Good
yeah.
stuff. Good stuff. All right, so Amelia, as a Cuban, a lot of people don't get to see anything much about Cuba as it relates to culture and all that. Tell us a little bit about life in Cuba. How has it been for you?
From the artistic point of view, or just in general?
I mean,
like,
in general. Just give me
okay.
the general.
I love my country. I love our culture.
It's like a disclaimer, folks.
Like it's so dynamic, and we have all kinds of races, and we are a mixture pretty much, right? We come from going back in history, the Indians were there, or the Aztecs, and then we had some colonizers from Spain, and then they brought African slaves, and then the Italians came, and then all French colonizers came as well. We actually have a province or a parish that is just like French architecture. Oh, really? And you will see the difference between Spain architecture and French architecture. So it just gives such a color to the country. And then we had the States coming in as well in the new colonial era. So we have all kinds of language and backgrounds. And even Jamaicans went also to Cuba. So yeah.
Wow, that sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your artistic background. You're involved in media, you're into theater. Tell us a little bit about how you got into it.
Okay, my family pretty much is like enjoys culture and art. And I kind of grew up seeing my brother playing trombone and piano, and my grandmother. And so I went to theater competitions since I was a little girl. I will go to parish artistic competitions and theater competitions or festivals. And then I went to the professional art school with this campus of the National Art School in Cuba. So I did 2 years of theater training there. Then I skipped up a little bit and I finished my bachelor's, my pre-university degree. And then I came to Jamaica to study communication with emphasis in television. Now I'm here. Pretty much.
Welcome. So, ¿te gusta la Jamaica?
Que si me gusta Jamaica.
Hold on, wait.
Okay.
When I ask you a question in Spanish, you can't respond in Spanish, man. My translation isn't so good.
Okay, you don't say La Jamaica, so you say Jamaica. Yeah. Yeah, I love Jamaica. Definitely.
Tell us about that transition coming from Cuba, to Jamaica. Was it hard? Do you find it difficult traveling between countries? Let me know. I'm interested to know.
Boy, nice, No, I think the hardest thing for me was the interaction, the way people interact with each other. Latin people, we have this, we are so warm and kind of loving.
Yeah.
And then you guys are a little people, you're a little bit rough. So it's hard, the interaction part, and then the first days, the patois, that was so hard to understand persons.
Yeah, trust
but then
me.
little by little, I began to acclimatize to Jamaican culture, and I'm just like, go on, man,
I think that's the worst patois we ever heard, man. So would you say that the culture here in Jamaica is relatively, similar to Cuba?
Well, in a sense, I see the resemblance of the African culture. Like, we both have that resemblance. I see that in the music, in the arts, in theater. I see that resemblance. So I think there is something in common that we bring up, and as Caribbeans as well.
Yeah, that's definitely true. That's definitely true. So I know that in Cuba, you guys have a lot of restrictions on so many different things. I mean, it wasn't just recently that you guys had more access to the internet. How has that affected the culture, the artistic side of Cuba, and especially for you? How did that affect you?
Well, pretty much I came to Jamaica in recent times, and when I started to develop other things, I was already in Jamaica. But when I was there, I could obviously see how artists were not able to get their content out there. Yeah. So we have a really good education system to develop talents. And you will see persons who master what they do, whether in any area. But the fact that they cannot get it outside of the country, that's the problem with the internet access, and also the cost of the internet access. Like, we use 0.5 or 5% of what any other country will use, and it's charged more than any other country, the internet in my country. So those kind of restrictions, that's what make artists, not being able to get their content out there, to make it international, and to get the attention of other countries into what they are doing.
Yeah, well, one of the things that is getting the attention of the world right now is this Cuban artist that was recently put in jail, Luis Manuel Otero Alcantara. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly.
Yeah,
Tell us,
Alcantara.
Tell us a little bit about that story.
Well, to what I know of, I think there has been always this limitation of artists to what they can do and they cannot do. And I think this was just an explosion of what the artistic public was, or the artists in Cuba were already having problem with. So he was the one who stepped up at front and, manifested his thoughts about it. And then persons follow then the San Isidro movement, and what happened, I think persons just went ahead with that and follow. They were openly saying, we need freedom, we need more space, we need for example, marketers or persons who advertise, they are not allowed to advertise as easily as other persons in other countries. So they just, they took advantage of that opportunity and they get the voice out there.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, it's being heard because, this story is really picking up all across the region and the world right now. So tell us a little bit about you, as an artist, somebody involved in theater and all of that. Who really inspired you to get into this kind of thing?
My dad. Yeah, he actually like he used to do some theater plays, and I will just hear him saying, I will learn it by heart." And he started seeing the talent in me, and he kind of prepared me. And he said, "Why you don't go to the professional art school and try the test?" And I was like, "Dad, they only accept like 14 people over 5 parishes, so it's hundreds of persons, and they only take 14. I'm not gonna make it." And he, like, "I believe in you," and then I went and I got through, and so
You can't be doubting
definitely
yourself
my
on me.
dad.
You can't be doubting
Yeah,
yourself,
I mean,
man.
it's hard, man. It's hard.
Yeah, I could definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
I could definitely agree with that. You were involved in poetry. You know, you were the best actress in the 2019 Ligdom Vitae Film Festival. So many things going on for you, Amelia. Tell me, with all of these things, this jack of all trades, which do you think is your favorite? Which you like to do the most?
Honestly, acting.
Acting. Why is that?
You're able to be someone else. You're able to connect to somebody else in such an intimate way.
Yeah.
And you're able to tell so many stories, and you're able to say things that you are perhaps not allowed to say, but you say anyway. And I like the way that acting say things without saying it. You know, you're not necessarily in dialogue or, you know, specific music, you know, with your body, with your face. You can say so many things. And yeah, definitely.
Oh, well, do you remember? Do you have like a favorite role that you played?
Yeah, I did. There is this famous play in Cuba, and I was acting as the grandmother.
You?
Yeah, I was 16 years old.
You're like 2 feet
Yeah.
tall. How you gonna be a grandmother? Come on,
I'm
man.
5.1. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
I'm 5.1. Some persons say I'm 5.0. No,
Let me know when
I'm
you wake up.
5.1. Okay. So I just was acting as the grandmother of this mixed girl, and I was and I die finally in the scene, some dramatic thing. But it was so interesting to talk to all persons, or adult persons, sorry, elderly, and see how they do, how they think, and try to emulate and to imitate that. And that was completely different from what I was. So yeah, I think that definitely was my best character.
Did you find that playing that role, you know, opened more opportunities for you in Cuba?
Well, actually, that was the last role I played before leaving Cuba.
Okay.
But that definitely that opened doors with a company that I wanted to work with. I was planning to work with them after I finished school, but I was offered, as soon as they saw me, I was offered, like, you know, trying to get into the company. But recently, then I came to Jamaica, and it didn't happen.
So what I'm gathering is that opportunities, you know, for people interested in theater and film and, you know, the whole shebang, the opportunities are there in Cuba. It's just that it's not getting out. That's what you're saying?
Okay. Of course, like, well, in terms of opportunities, we have to separate these in parts. Like, there is a part where you develop your talent, which is that opportunity, and then the other opportunity is to get your talent out there. So to develop your talent, for example, they have like 349 culture houses, and what that is that every parish and every city have a center where artistic or creative persons go to be trained.
Okay.
So that's governmental, that's a law. And that's what I love about the Cuban culture, you know, that it's the government knows the importance of culture and it puts it out there. Now, there is not a lot of scholarships. There is not a lot of festivals when you can, well, there are festivals, but you can actually get your content out there as much as you want to.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much regulated who get to go into the festival and who doesn't. So yeah, I think that's a problem.
Well, in light of that, I want you to give some advice to any Cuban person watching this, or any person in general, you know, but I want you to speak mostly to your Cuban population, give some advice as to the person that wants to follow in this path.
I would say look at the examples that you have in your country. Look at what they have done and how they have gotten there. Because at times we want to be extremely authentic and not do something that nobody else have done. And the truth is that that path can be a little bit lonely and unrealistic.
Yeah.
So look at the persons that have gone where you want to go. Look at what they have done, and then you cannot try to put your authenticity into that. And also be proud of your culture, where you come from. Sometimes as Latin people, to kind of fit into this English culture, we kind of fake our accent or try to like be acclimatized too much to them, and you don't know that your own identity is what makes you different and what they actually want for the company or for wherever you're going. So I will say look at persons like Carlos Acosta. He has his own ballet company. He's the director of the Brinkman Ballet Company, which is a UK ballet company, and he has both a company in Cuba and in UK. And I mean, he's just like a god in the ballet in Cuba. So look at persons like that, what they have done, follow that, and put your own self to that. Definitely.
Well, thanks for that. Hopefully our listeners, take that pretty good advice. Thanks for joining the interview today, Amelia. It was really interesting, getting to know how things work for you guys out there in Cuba. Thanks again to our listeners for tuning in to yet another episode of the Unveil podcast right here on YouTube. Until next week, adios.
Hasta luego.
Good stuff.
Hey guys, if you liked that episode, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and also turn on the notification bell to stay updated.